Welcome back to Rise Entertainment 360. Our first guest is a life coach, business expert, and entrepreneur.
Yes, indeed. And now Heather Monahan is inspiring businesswomen around the country to be a #boss in heels. Ooh. Welcome to Rise 360, Heather. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Good. I love the #boss in heels.
Right?
It sounds great, and it's the perfect time for it as well, right? Tell us a little bit more about what it is exactly.
Okay, so growing up, I didn't have a female mentor. I think a lot of women don't have a female mentor or didn't when they were younger. And I didn't have access to what it took to get ahead and to understand what I could do to be successful. So I figured it out the hard way. And I promised myself as I became more successful, I wanted to share those tips, that insight with other women and make it scalable. So I built my brand, Boss in Heels, which is all about being a boss in whatever clothing you want to wear, whatever heels you want, flip-flops or sneakers, but being yourself and making it rock for you.
I love that. Can you tell us about some of the testimonials or success stories that you've had from your platform?
Oh my gosh, there's been a lot and it's overwhelming, but when you make your social media public, you hear unbelievable stories and outcries from women who are struggling. So one of the things that I do a lot on social media is I pick winners to spend an hour with on the phone and go through some of the challenges that they're having and talk to them about how they can overcome the challenge, because it's all the same things that women face.
Yes.
Insecurity, lack of confidence, fear of speaking up to people that are in leadership positions. And these are things that we've all dealt with. So really supporting one another and sharing the tactics you need to overcome those challenges has been really moving.
So who do you aim to get involved, and how do people become involved with Boss in Heels?
So to get involved with Boss in Heels, sign up on my website, heathermonahan.com. I've got an email newsletter. I've got a book coming out in May, and it's called Confidence Creator. It's all how women can build confidence in their own lives. Follow me at social media. You can get me at Heather Monahan. But really, it's about women supporting women, and I've also been told it's not just for women.
I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Because Shannon was feeling a little left out.
You're not left out. You are not left out.
Thank you.
No.
Well, I think a lot of people deal with confidence, especially in the workplace, because everyone's always trying to one-up you and different things. So what are some pieces of advice or tips you can give to people to help, like in your book, build that confidence?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh.
So one of the things that I think is so important is firing negative people out of your life. And when you really stop and think to yourself, is there someone negative out there that's pulling me down that I'm just kind of letting linger? Cutting that person out will open up so much more room for positivity and potential growth for you. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
The people you surround yourself with, surrounding yourself with people not only that support you, but are stretched ahead of you. You want to be always challenging yourself to get better. That builds confidence. Taking risk, taking action, and really surrounding yourself with a positive team it's so important.
Oh, I love that. I already feel so inspired.
I know, right?
I'm like, how do I become president of the world? I love
the world, right?
Now, you're also, we all know I love fashion. I started at the beginning of the show. So you are also a brand ambassador for Perry Ellis. Tell me about this. What does that involve?
So a couple of years ago, I created my platform, and one of the things that I thought was really important for success for women in business is how you develop confidence. And one of the tie-ins there is what you're wearing, how you position yourself, present yourself. And I hated that idea that it has to be dressed this certain way and you have to wear a dark pantsuit to get ahead. I found success being myself and bringing my creativity to my fashion, to what I wear to work, because it makes me feel more confident. And the more I spoke to that, it was a natural alignment with Perry Ellis International's female brand, Rafaela, which is all about how clothes fit you, make you feel more confident. And their entire line is about empowering women. So we're bringing their clothing line to life to empower women to be their best selves.
And I love the slogan that we just saw on screen now. It fits, it flatters, it inspires. Hey, feeling is believing.
That's right.
Rafaela.
Rafaela.
Well, it seems like the dream job to get a few free clothes, maybe.
Well, I actually was at Rafaela yesterday in New York, and we were trying some new outfits on. So it is pretty exciting. Yeah.
So how in depth is the process? Do you get to create, outfits with them?
Well, we have not gone there yet. We just launched this partnership at the end of December, so it's relatively new, but obviously one of my goals is to be really intertwined with the brand and be able to give some insight and, you know, real-time feedback in regards to what's happening in the workplace.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested in what you did in the workplace before you started to become a life coach and before you got more involved in helping other women be bosses in their own right. What were you involved in?
So I've been in media for the past 20 years, and I made it to the C-level. I was the chief revenue officer of a media company, and I was fired August 1st. And I was blindsided after 14 years in advancement from VP of sales to EVP to chief revenue. You know, it was mind-blowing for me, and that pivotal moment really gave me the opportunity to say, okay, do I want to go back to media and do what I've been doing for 20 years and jump right back in, or do I want to take a moment and really evaluate what is my passion in life, where do I want to go? And I decided lean into the fear, go for something new, and do this 100% of my time, and that's when I jumped in full-time to Boss and Heels.
That's like a great testimony, because, you know, a lot of people feel like their life is over. Like, I've invested 14 years, what do I do now? My life is over.
Again?
Yes, but it's almost like a blessing in disguise, and you made some lemonade out of it.
You know, I'll tell you, absolutely, still making that lemonade. But, you know, I'll tell you, the one thing I learned that I think is really powerful, in that moment, you feel like someone just took everything from me. Instead, what I learned, the only thing they took from me was a paycheck. I kept my reputation, I kept my network, I kept my integrity, and I kept who I am. And that's so powerful. You really realize it ended up building more confidence for me to say, nothing can strip the most important things out of my life. And, you know, I feel really good about it.
Well, you make it sound so easy, though. That's like,
nothing is easy. No, nothing is easy.
So give us the real deal. Like, how do you pull yourself out of that valley after something so traumatic to you happens, after so long being with the company? How do you pull yourself up?
First, you have to have a few Chardonnays and just completely decompress.
Now you're talking. Okay, there's what I want to hear.
This is real. I mean, I was completely shocked and depressed the first couple of days, crying. I mean, it was really sad. 14 years is a long time. And I felt at that time everything had been taken from me, as I said. But what I learned is, you know, if you want to lose weight, you weigh yourself every morning, you put a plan together. This is no different. I put a plan together. I said, I'm going to focus on 30 days, which is manageable. And I wrote it out on a paper, and I said, I'm going to check in with myself each day, see how I'm feeling. What is the progress that's happening? I'm going to let people around me know what happened. I put it on social media. I had so many people reaching out to me wanting to help. I asked them for specific things. A contact, get me on this show, you know, help with this connection. And people showed up and they helped. And it was an amazing time. But as I would look back over those 4 weeks, I would look at the difference when I was writing, my life is terrible, to the next week I was saying, oh my gosh, this amazing thing happened today, and I didn't know this was coming. And that gave me hope. And, you know, each week it just got better and better, and it builds momentum, which brought me here today.
You know, it's very interesting that you said that you put it on social media, because typically when a person gets fired or some sort of teachable moment happens in your life, you kind of just go into a hole and hide. I love the fact that you're promoting actually being open and honest and asking for help. It's so important because you never know where it could come from.
That was really the key. And a lot of people said to me, are you crazy that you put that out? That's embarrassing. And I felt that way at first. But again, I go back to, if you're feeling afraid of something, you got to really tackle it head on. And I thought, if I shine the light on the shame that I got fired, then there's nothing to feel bad about anymore. And instead, the people come to you and say, hey, how can I help you?
Oh, wow.
So you kind of flip the script on it.
Amazing. I love it.
I love that people are helping you, because you do a lot of nonprofit work as well and helping other people, especially down in Miami.
City Year Miami. You're a board member for the organization.
I've been with City Year for a long time, and it's an amazing group. And it's not just in Miami, it's across the country, where our organization works to help inner city youth that don't have mentors, that don't have people there to help them. And we enable students to go in and assist them to make sure that they graduate from high school.
That's great.
It's really exciting.
What kind of programs do you put on for them?
So we've done a number of different things. We do women's lunches that I've hosted for them. We go into the schools and actually work with children. And we do, you know, rehabbing the actual environment that they're in, painting buildings and working to elevate their life.
And it's called City Year Miami.
Yes.
City Year. It's not just in Miami.
Yeah, not just in Miami.
But it's called City Year?
City Year. It was founded in Boston.
I can say Miami.
Across the country.
Okay, across the country. I like that.
So you mentioned the book that you have coming out.
Yes.
What else is on the cards for 2018?
A lot of exciting stuff. So Perry Ellis and I are working on, you know, very specifically right now on this partnership and bringing it to life. So we're going to be doing different speaking engagements. We're looking at some different TV opportunities, as well as bringing the book to life and really helping women to develop their confidence. We've got some other things that are going to be coming out in the later part of this year.
Now, before you go, I just want to get some other tips or any advice you can give to women who are trying to be the boss. You know, they're trying to get up to that level.
Heels.
Yes, a boss
Don't forget the heels.
What other advice can you give them to elevate their careers?
Well, the most important conversation you have is with yourself. And a lot of times we have negative speak that's happening within our head. So really practicing to have a positive conversation. And for me, that was writing words down. You know, you are creative, you are smart enough, you are good enough, just being you. And it sounds a little crazy.
Like affirmations.
Really like affirmations, but just, you know, there's always some verbal running in your mind. Make sure that's a positive conversation. And paying attention to things, you can do something about it and change it. And if you're supporting yourself and you're saying, I can go for that promotion, I can practice this pitch, I can get really good at it, you will, and you'll watch what you can do, and that just builds confidence, gets you promoted, and it lets you take that next step.
I love
what
that.
I'm hearing
Great
is
advice.
you need to show up for yourself.
Absolutely.
Show up and show out.
Well
show
said.
up and show out.
I like that. Thank you so much, Heather, for coming in, and we'll be sure to get your book as soon as it's released. You'll have to come back on and tell us more about it.
I would love to. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for teaching us how to be a boss in heels.
Yes, you are
so
a boss in heels.
Ooh,
all right.
We will be right back with more Rise Entertainment 360.
That was great.
Thank you.
You were so
That was
good
good.
on television.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's been a great year for agribusiness. With our weather and the amazing range of soil available to us, the fallow lands are birthing their magnificent potential. The Central Bank of Nigeria, under President Buhari's administration, is spearheading this progress, and everyone is getting in on it. The local farmer on the Anchor Borrowers Program and the international investors, taking advantage of the new policies geared towards easy foreign investment, stabilized exchange rate, and FX market. The harvest is green and lush, and we are just getting started. Come, invest in Nigeria. Discover what the green in our flag really stands for. Nigeria, ready for business. An initiative of Greenfield Assets Limited. There is nothing as symbolic as a door. It shuts to protect you and opens to give you much more. Everyone wants to succeed, not just count pennies. When life gets tough, I remember a few things. Difficulty and struggles are part of what life brings. Your strength comes from the support around you. A true friend believes in what you do, there to hold your hand through any weather. I found my partner, and we walk through doors together. Diamond, your bank.